Hello YouTube and people of the interwebs, welcome back to another Doctor Who video. Now, today we are going to be discussing the upcoming Centenary special of Doctor Who. So, for those of you who don't know, this is the final episode of the Chris Chibnall, Jodie Whittaker, Mandip Gill, John Bishop, all of them lot. It's the final episode of their era. Now, it's just before Russell T Davies comes in and takes over the show once again to bring us the 60th anniversary in whatever form that may be. We aren't actually sure how Russell's handling the show, etc. But yeah, I'll discuss that in other videos. And I already have discussed the new Russell era in a load of videos, so you can go and check those out if you want. But the main point of conversation for today's video is YAZ, so the 13th Doctor's companion, played by Mandip Gill, is YAZ gonna die? Because today, interesting clips have surfaced on Twitter and just around the internet in Doctor Who fandom in general today of an interview with Mandip Gill where she's asked about the Centenary special, and she starts to talk about how emotional and how sad and how she felt like it was the right thing to do for the story, but how sad it was for both her and the character of YAZ. So, I'm just going to play a few clips from it here.
How do you think fans will feel with where YAZ's storyline ends up?
I think, just like me, just like my character, there'll be a lot of tears. I think it was the right thing, it's exciting, there's a lot of emotion. I think they'll be not pleasantly surprised, but I think they'll realise that's exactly where it should be going.
But yeah, it's a very interesting thing because it sounds like whatever's going to happen is going to be another sort of heart-wrenching Doctor Who moment. When Ryan and Graham left, they talked about the cast being sad, like Jodie Whittaker, Mandip Gill, Tosin Cole and Bradley Walsh. They were all emotional and sad because obviously two of the fam were leaving the show. But this, from what Mandip said, sounds like both in the narrative of the show and in real life, it was a sad experience to go through these scenes.
Just like me, just like my character, there'll be a lot of tears.
We've also heard way back in interviews that Jodie's final scene, so the regeneration stuff, is really a beautiful shot and all of this. So it is making me think we are probably going to end up seeing the 13th Doctor and YAZ on their own by the end of the special. The most likely thing, spoilers here, if you don't want spoilers, go away, but I presume you're already keyed in on this if you're watching my channel, but we know that Bradley Walsh is returning as Graham alongside John Bishop's Dan. That means they all survive Legend of the Sea Devils, which is the Easter special. We've all seen them shooting the Centenary special, but I reckon the Doctor is going to do a little victory lap, kind of like in The End of Time. She's going to go back to Earth, drop Dan off with Graham. They're going to go and do something, maybe, I don't know, flatmates, who knows. I don't know where Ryan is though. Ryan's just on his own vibing, but I think that 13 and YAZ are then going to go off together on their own, and I think that would be quite interesting. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the video, there's been a bunch of sort of theories flying around Twitter, so I'm going to read a few of those out. This isn't a theory, but I do agree with Hello Benjamin here. I'm scared. I think we all are. I really like, this sounds morbid, I really like sad character deaths in Doctor Who. There's just something really nice and emotional, and I love the consequence of travelling with the Doctor. It's why Bill and Clara are two of my favourite companions. I really like that sort of heavy emotional weight. But yeah, it would, I think if YAZ does die, this is going to be the first time in the modern era of the show that a companion's just completely gone, unless she comes back, but I don't think she will. The closest we've had once again is under Chibnall's tenure, Grace. Grace from The Woman Who Fell to Earth, she just dies and then doesn't come back, which, she comes back as a frog on a chair, but that's not technically Grace, and we'll move swiftly past that. But usually, Bill, for example, she dies, then comes back as a puddle god, which I kind of like, to be fair. Clara gets a really good death in Face the Raven, then she comes back and flies around the universe, etc. Amy and Rory, they don't really die, they get transported back in time. And Donna doesn't die, she just forgets her memory. And yeah, Martha just leaves, Rose doesn't die at all. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because one of the main things that the classic show's always sort of remembered for, at least from what I've seen online, obviously I wasn't born when it happened, but so many people remember Adric's death because it was just out the blue, oh my god, this companion of the Doctor's dead and he's never coming back. And having a modern equivalent to that would be really nice. And we know from interviews Chibnall has said Earthshock is one of his favourite stories of Doctor Who ever. I mean, it's clear the inspiration he's had from Earthshock in Ascension of the Cybermen, when you have all the Cybermen marching around, very Earthshock-like, but obviously on a bigger budget. Anyway, we've got a really cool theory here from Captain Kez of Ship Thazzy. Read this theory and yeah, go and look at these tweets on Twitter, follow these people, very good theories. So, she says, once the Doctor leaves YAZ behind to save the universe again, there's going to be a massive time jump. Okay, so I think there was something similar to this back in Series 4. It was, like, possibly planned. I can't remember whether it was Donna or Agatha Christie or something, but the Doctor was going to go, like, after they've had their memory wiped, the Doctor was going to go like right to the end of their life. I mean, no, they did it with Clara in Series 8, like when you get Capaldi with the old version of Clara in Last Christmas. Maybe they mean something like that. So just before the Doctor regenerates, she's going to visit YAZ one last time. She's going to see how happy she is, and she's going to go on knowing that the years YAZ spent travelling with her opened up her to be ready for her current happiness. She isn't who she is today without having met the Doctor. The Doctor will go to that hill that she watched Ryan and Graham from all those years before and will regenerate there peacefully. Close, but not with her fam. Yeah, that would genuinely be almost a perfect ending for the Chibnall era. I would really like that. Yeah, I think the whole going to the hill where Ryan and Graham were, that would be great because it's, as George Lucas once said, it's like poetry, it rhymes. But yeah, no, I think that would be a really nice ending. I wonder how you'd slot Dan into that, but like, as I said earlier, this is probably going to be like a end of time Tennant victory lap where she goes around and does whatnot with all the companions. It would be really cool to see YAZ finally happy because it opens up another interesting sort of debate of, are the 13th Doctor and YAZ like, ooh, toxic relationship? Because 13 never tells YAZ anything. YAZ, after confirmation in Eve of the Daleks, is clearly like in love with the Doctor. It's, yeah, do they deserve to end up together, or does YAZ deserve better? That's an interesting question, because can the Doctor provide a life for YAZ that YAZ truly wants, or is that just impossible because there's too many differences and they're alien and all of this stuff? Because all Doctor romances sort of end in tragedy. Yeah, no, they all do. Yeah, River Song's a bit iffy because she gets uploaded to the computer, and I mean, Rose does get a kind of happy ending with the Meta-Crisis Doctor. But anyway, we have another theory here from Dalecium. It's not even a theory, it's just a short statement, and I do agree. He says, it's giving Martha-esque vibes. This is me getting out. So yeah, that's the quote from Martha back on her exit in Series 3. And yeah, it's giving those vibes because I think the way Mandip Gills describes it being right for the character, but feeling sad, I don't know whether it's going to be a death. Like, a death would be really cool, but are they realistically going to do that? I don't know. Now, one last thing to cap off why I don't think YAZ is going to die. I mean, she might do, but probably not, is this leaked picture. It's very blurry, but it's YAZ and the Doctor from the Centenary special, both together in a quarry somewhere with the TARDIS behind them. Yeah, I think that's going to be from, like, Jodie's final moments. So maybe YAZ watches Jodie regenerate, something like that. Maybe Jodie heals YAZ to stop her from dying, and thus she has to regenerate. Something like that. I don't know. But do let me know in the comments down below what you think of this. What are your theories and thoughts on YAZ and her possible demise in the series? Let me know. Thank you for watching. Please do remember to like, comment, subscribe, turn the notification bell on to make sure you keep up to date with all the latest and greatest Doctor Who news. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.